guys, we're going to be doing something slightly different today. I'm going to show you how to wrap Christmas presents. This is just how I do it, and I think it's pretty easy and also beautiful. So I'm going to keep this first present that I wrap in real time so you can follow along, and then show you how I repeat that process to wrap all of my presents. If you're new, my name is Alissa Capron and I post new videos on Tuesdays, so let's get started. So step one, if you're a beginner, you need to make sure you have enough paper to go around the present on both sides. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just measuring out how much paper I need. Now for the actual wrapping, I always go around the present the long ways first, and then I tape that together. Also, the tighter you pull, the better. It'll just make the present look nicer and neater. This is the part that I know people who don't know how to wrap, this is the part they don't know how to do. So first fold down, then fold the sides in, and it should make like a triangle on the floor once you're done with that. Now lastly, you just have to fold that triangle up and then tape that down. And now just repeat that exact same process on the other side. This is how I wrap every single one of my presents. If your present is an odd shape, then I either find a box to put it in, or I just put it in a bag, because wrapping things that are oddly shaped, usually they don't turn out looking that great. If that's all you wanted to learn how to do, you can just put a bow on and call it done. But next I'm going to show you what I think is the fun part, because I like to make my own bows. So kind of like wrapping, the first step is to figure out how much ribbon you need to go around the present. So first I go around the present long ways, and then I pull the ribbon up, I twist it, and then go around short ways. Now that I know the ribbon is going to fit all the way around the present, I'm going to cut it and then reposition the ribbon so that it's even, and then I'll hot glue it down. And you do need to use hot glue. Tape won't stick to glitter, so I always use a hot glue gun. Even if the ribbon doesn't have glitter on it, hot glue gun will work way better than anything else. Now for the bow, and I apologize if you can't really see what I'm doing that well. In the next bow that I make, I got more of a close-up of my hands making the bow. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm holding in the middle and then just making 3 loops on each side. You can make however many loops you want. I just think that 3 is a good amount and it always looks good. Also, the thicker the ribbon, the harder this is, but also really thin ribbon is hard too. So if you're new to this, maybe a slightly thinner ribbon than what I'm using would be best. But after I make 3 loops on each side, then I just wrap the ribbon around the center of the bow, and then tie that to the little tail that I left out. You can also cut it before you tie it. I just didn't. It doesn't really matter. Also, after you tie it, your bow is going to be looking like a hot mess. So after you tie it, however tight you need, then you're going to kind of fix your bow and like fluff the little loops and just reposition it until it looks how you want it. Now that I have the bow how I want it, I am just cutting the tails, and I usually cut them at a slight angle just to make them look nice. And here's what my finished bow looks like. Now to hot glue that on, I just put a glob of hot glue right in the center and then press that bow on, and I probably only hold it for like 10 seconds. Hot glue dries really fast. Also, I'm putting the bow on what looks like kind of upside down right now because this ribbon has a pattern. I didn't want the reindeers to be upside down. Although I did just realize the bow reindeers will be upside down, but just try to match up the patterns to the best of your ability. After that, I sometimes cut the ends of the ribbons to meet up with the end of the present just so they're not too long. Also, I don't ever buy Christmas tags. I just write with a Sharpie directly onto the present who it's for. And you can even use like a silver or gold Sharpie. That looks really nice. I just had black, so that's what I'm using. And here is the finished product. So one thing that I really like to do is match all my wrapping paper and then just do different colored bows. I think it looks really nice under the tree when they all kind of match. Also, this is a smaller present, so I am cutting the wrapping paper both ways just so I don't have a ton of extra wrapping paper because that just makes it way harder to wrap. Here's a better view of how I do the bows, and this size of ribbon is much easier to work with than the thicker ribbon, and also no glitter makes them a little easier to work with as well. So here I'm just making my 3 loops on each side, and I still have that little tail hanging out. Once again, now I'm tying my 2 tails together after I wrapped it around the center of the bow, and now I'm just fixing the bow to make it look nicer before it's going to be glued on. On to my last present, and I have this one wrapped in tissue paper just because the people that these gifts are for will likely see this video and I don't want to ruin their surprise. So one thing that I wanted to mention is where you get your ribbon is going to matter. I get my ribbon at Costco, and I'll show you why this is important when I make the bow for this present, but Costco ribbons are not hollow in the center, so you're getting a ton of ribbon, and I'll compare that to a ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby that is hollow in the center, and I'll show you so you know what I'm talking about. But if you get ribbon and it's hollow in the middle, you will maybe be able to wrap one present with that whole roll of ribbon, and this inexpensive wrapping hack will soon become a very expensive wrapping hack. So these Costco ribbons, I can wrap countless amounts of presents, and these ribbons will probably last 3 years. And the ribbons that you might get at Target or Hobby Lobby, you will seriously only be able to wrap maybe one present with the whole roll. So here's what I mean by it's not hollow in the center. There's ribbon all the way in. That is a ton of ribbon. And now compared to a ribbon that I got at Hobby Lobby, if you pull up the top, you can see it's totally hollow. The ribbon doesn't go all the way to the center. Here's what the presents look like all together under the tree. So I hope you guys like this video and that it gave you ideas on how to wrap your presents this year and maybe motivated you to get your wrapping done. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.